I'll admit right off the bat that I'm relatively new to Silent Hill. I'm a new resident, or maybe I'm just visiting. I guess that makes me not unlike everyone else here. This city has a habit of drawing in and ensnaring damaged people. And you know what they say, hurt people hurt people. I wasn't into horror games when the original Silent Hill games came out. I watched the Rhoda Mitchell and Sean Bean-led Hollywood adaptation and enjoyed that. Honestly, that might be the most well-adapted video game of all time, but we can save that talk for another day. I tried some horror-adjacent games like Parasite Eve and Fear Effect, but never the mainstays like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Alone in the Dark. My history with horror didn't start until The Last of Us and my subsequent descent into a From Software-driven mania. I've since tried going back and playing some older horror games, but it's hard to go back to games I have no nostalgia for. So, in general, I've stayed away. But the remake of Silent Hill 2 by Poland's Bloober team is an oppressive work of art that sets itself apart from the games that have benefited from the insight offered by the original Silent Hill games since their release by honoring the original's framework and script while simultaneously elevating the visceral horror game experience above and beyond a simple remaster, and now can sit comfortably at the table of the best in the industry. Our hero, James Sunderland, is a broken man. The player is told as much from the very beginning. He's a widow who lost his wife to illness 3 years before we first meet him in that rest stop on the edge of town. He knows his wife is dead, but a strange letter from her has brought him to Maine, to a quiet lakeside town called Silent Hill. As James explores the town, he meets a strange assortment of characters that, much like him, are lost in the fog, though some of them may not be what they appear. The fog of Silent Hill has a way of playing tricks on the mind and reflecting people's true nature. James seems to see himself as other and not of, as he constantly offers assistance to everyone he meets, not recognizing that he might be the one needing assistance. The city is rotten with horrific entities. Some look like rancid flesh zipped up in a bag, others like cobbled together human limbs. James' personal boogeyman, Pyramid Head, is a frightening sight to behold, and every encounter with him is panic-inducing. The weapons of war at the player's disposal are typical in survival fashion, very scarce, but all the usuals are here: pistol, shotgun, rifle. However, most fights in this game end up with just a stick between James and an ugly end. I've always preferred horror games that give the player some agency in staying alive. I've never been into horror where the only options are run and hide. I really enjoyed being able to master the careful dance of dodging and striking, keeping me alive at the edge of death, lost in a place I can only describe as hell. The city of Silent Hill is of course labyrinthine in nature, built in a place originally settled by natives due to its intense spiritual activity. Silent Hill has an expansive, disorienting nature. Much of the game is spent indoors, and I started to feel claustrophobic when, already lost in a building, I would cross over into a shadowy parallel version of the same building, pushing me even further from the end of the maze. My fears were also amplified by the radio. Every time the player gets close to an enemy, James' personal radio device begins to emit the sound of static. On PlayStation 5, this sound is emitted directly from the DualSense controller. Because of this one little detail, Silent Hill 2 smartly does away with most classic jump scares and instead builds an oppressive tension that's unlike any other game in the genre. I hope this release proves to Konami that there's still huge demand for this series, whether that be remakes like this one or actual new games. I'm now also looking forward to Bloober Team's other project due out in 2025. If it's anything like this, with this level of craft and attention to detail, no doubt it will be a showstopper. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and for the love of God, make sure you put some batteries in your flashlight.